Turning our attention now to what's going on in Washington, D.C. and the big discussion over stimulus, want to let you listen to what we heard from Representative Gregory Meeks, who was on Yahoo Finance Live just this morning.
I think that we can take a real look at those that have been hard hit through the no fault of their own, but because of this pandemic. And hopefully also we'll see some light at the end of the tunnel because of the vaccine. And hopefully by April and May and June, the economy will start to kick back in, and then we can look at what so we can make an estimate of what we should do at that particular time.
We turn to Rick Newman to discuss things which have a political issue behind them. Rick, it's good to see you. And I know that Diane just brought this up, the teachers, the state and local employees who have lost their jobs during the pandemic. Is there a figure on how many of those state jobs have been lost? And what do we need to know about getting these people back to work?
I actually looked at that data this morning, Adam, and since February, state and local governments have shed about 1 million jobs. I don't have a breakdown for you, how many are teachers, how many are cops, firefighters, and so forth. But that is more jobs lost at the state and local government level than during the Great Recession from 2007 to 2009. So when governors say they really need some extra money from Washington, they mean it. Of course, this bill that just got introduced in terms of all the full text of the legislation just a short while ago today, it does have that indirect aid for schools, but it does not have the several $100 billion in direct aid for states and cities that Democrats want. So that is missing from this bill. And I think it's an open question whether we're likely to see a further stimulus bill in 2021 that might provide that. It really is going to come down to whether Republicans or Democrats control the Senate after those two races in Georgia on January 5th.
Yeah, Rick, I was going to ask you that it sounds like it'll be even that much harder to pass another round. And you were just alluding to how the Senate races play out in Georgia. What do you think? Do you think there's any sort of path forward, regardless of how that turns out?
Well, I'll handicap this as well as I can based on what my sources are saying today. First of all, there's about a 70% likelihood Republicans are going to win either one or both of those Senate seats in Georgia, and they only need one to retain control of the Congress. So call it a 2/3 chance Republicans end up with control of the Senate in 2021, and a 1/3 chance that Democrats do. Now, if Democrats do control the Senate, then there is, even if they do, it's going to be by one vote, the slimmest possible margin. But it is possible they could roll up one huge bill that has a lot of this sort of stimulus in it, direct aid for cities and states, some other things, and pass that probably with only Democratic votes or maybe only a couple Republican votes. If Republicans control the Senate, I think we're not going to see any direct aid to states and cities because Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, and his band of conservative senators, they hate state and city aid because they consider it a blue state bailout. They could do a couple other things. For example, the extra unemployment insurance, that's $300 a week as part of this bill, that will expire in March. And in the past, there has been bipartisan agreement to continue unemployment aid and other things like that. So my guess is we're not going to see another bill approaching $1 trillion for stimulus relief in 2021. We could see targeted stimulus, but it's going to come piecemeal most likely.